Hello and welcome into Wednesday's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I am your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I'm so grateful to be joining each and every one of you once again today. We are about 3 hours removed from Arizona State's final practice in front of media for the week before they travel to Utah to Salt Lake City to face the Utah Utes, which we've discussed on the show this for the last 2 weeks. This is a program that Arizona State takes very, very seriously. Kenny Dillingham talked about last Monday how the Utes are the benchmark and who Arizona State aspires to be as a program moving forward. He has nothing but good things to say about Kyle Whittingham. There's obviously a lot of mutual respect between the two. Utah is very, very built up in the trenches. They have that trademark toughness on the defensive side of the ball, particularly in the front seven. Devin Dampier is a very, very marked improvement at quarterback compared to what they had in previous seasons. And the offensive line is incredibly built up. It will be a challenge for a Sun Devil front seven that has generated 19 sacks this season. I mean, Keyshawn Elliott and Jordan Crook have even gotten in on the action when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. So it will be a massive, massive battle. Saturday night, 7:15 Arizona time in Salt Lake, and there is a good chance for inclement weather that night as well. So that could be a factor, and that plays right into what we are discussing on today's show, which is the three keys for Arizona State to win this game against Utah. So there are a number of things that you can look at, and it would be very, very valid to point out. And one of those things that I really do believe is valid is the fact that Arizona State is among the best in the country when it comes to turnover margin. They have been for the last 2 years. They are number 8 in the country, tied with UNLV and TCU with a plus 1.3 turnover margin, while Utah is ranked in the 70s. Utah is ranked 74 in the country with a minus zero point 0.3 turnover margin. And that is very, very surprising, especially considering how stout Utah's defense typically is, how much pressure they put on quarterbacks, how much they punch the ball loose. There are a lot of factors. I mean, Devin Dampier hasn't even been turnover prone this year. Last year, he had 3 or 4 games where he turned the ball over a lot, but that hasn't been an issue for him this season, and they still are losing turnover battles, at least in the scope of the season. That is massive for Arizona State, especially in a potentially inclement weather environment that's full of inclement weather. There could be rain, the ball could be slippery. That has potential for Prince Dorba to create strip sacks possibly. That has potential for Brian Ward to dial up plays to confuse Devin Dampier, who is a great quarterback, and like I said, he's made marked improvements as a passer. But Arizona State's defense stacks up better against Utah's offense when it comes to creating those game-changing plays compared to the other side flipped around. Sam Levitt just does not turn over the ball. The two interception game against Mississippi State was not his finest moment, but since then, 0 turnovers. The running game really hasn't yielded many disastrous plays either. And I just don't see a world in which Arizona State doesn't win the turnover battle, even if it's just 1-0. I think that they are in good position there. And that is probably the biggest key to the game, which leads into my second key to the game, which this is cliche. This is obvious in a lot of game scenarios. Field position. This is a game that I believe will be much more of a grind it out, win in the trenches, win field position kind of game compared to the potential high flying 38-35 game that TCU or Baylor could have been. I mean, Utah's offense is obviously completely different than last season. They typically run with tempo. They air it out a little bit. But I think that this game will not allow as many shots to be taken, as much tempo to be used, and I think that potential issues for ASU, such as Canyon Floyd potentially being out once again, Matt McKenzie punting, possibly in inclement weather, that could be a factor. I think that this is a game that's setting up to be whoever has the ball last wins, but in more of the 17 to 14, 20 to 17 variety of games. And having a kicker such as Jesus Gomez is so massive in these type of games. I could be wrong. You never know in the world of college football with all of the variance and the parity. But I just believe that this will be a field position game. If Arizona State can limit Utah drives, can stop them on these third and short situations that they put themselves in frequently, I feel very good about Arizona State's chances, especially with Raleek Brown, Sam Levitt, and Jordan Tyson. I trust those guys to muster up enough plays, especially with the supporting cast that has stepped up recently, to win enough to win the game. So field position will be a massive battle. I still believe that Arizona State has the advantage ultimately. And that leads me into the final key of the game, which I talked about this a little bit just a minute ago. And this is something that just gets hammered down a lot. But the Sam Levitt Jordan Tyson connection is going to be absolutely massive. It can't be understated how vital the star-to-star connection will be this Saturday. Sam Levitt, like I said, has emerged a better player, even more mature than he was before, and a big play maker once again. He just has a knack for making game-winning plays. We saw that against TCU. We saw that against Baylor. We even saw that against Texas State. And the nearly 500 yards gained by Arizona State, the 130-yard performance from Jordan Tyson against TCU, all of those things point towards what Kenny Dillingham said in his press conference on Monday, that he prefers to put the game in the hands of his best players. You want MJ to take the shot. You want Kobe to take the shot. Well, that's exactly what they did when Tyson secured that 57-yard touchdown pass from Sam Levitt to get the Arizona State scoring going against TCU, and I feel like they're going to have to operate in much of the same way. Although I do really like Jaron Hamilton in this game. I like Shimon Mateer. I even like Jalen Moss, who's returning. You have to dial up plays for Jordan Tyson. Even if they're not the easiest plays, you have to make some of those throws. Jordan Tyson is he's getting very close to the point where he's uncoverable regardless of what you do, whether you bracket him, whether you double him, whether you decide to put a soft zone on him and force him to find, a tight zone, that's what I meant, and force him to find little pockets to make plays in. He's just phenomenal. His route running is crisp. His hands are incredible this season. His drop rate has gone down 6%. His knack for securing 50-50 balls is great. His knack for finding soft spots in zones is impeccable. He's a great athlete. He can beat you at all three levels. And I think that Arizona State's going to have to hone in on putting the ball in your star players' hands to win this game, especially against the Utah squad that is so well-rounded. And that is really all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in once again on this Wednesday edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And I will join you tomorrow, possibly with a preview for the game. We shall see what the next day holds in store for me. But I am so grateful for each and every one of you tuning in today. And as you do every day for my loyal followers. And massive game against Utah this coming Saturday, possibly even bigger game against Texas Tech coming next Saturday, and I will be here to cover all of it for you. And I will see you tomorrow.